The complete works of Swami Vivekananda, Raj Yoga, Chapter 1, Introductory, Part 1. All our knowledge is based upon experience. What we call inferential knowledge, in what we go from the less to the more general, or from the general to the particular, has experience as its basis. In what are called the exact sciences, people easily find the truth because it appeals to the particular experiences of every human being. The scientist does not tell you to believe in anything, but he has certain results which come from his own experiences. And reasoning on them, when he asks us to believe in his conclusions, he appeals to some universal experience of humanity. In every exact science, there is a basis which is common to all humanity, so that we can all at once see the truth or the fallacy of the conclusions drawn therefrom. Now the question is, has religion any such basis or not? I shall have to answer the question both in the affirmative and in the negative. Religion, as it is generally taught all over the world, is said to be based upon faith and belief, and in most cases consists only of different sets of theories. And that is the reason why all religions quarrel with one another. These theories again are based upon belief. One man says, there is a great being sitting above the clouds and governing the whole universe, and he asked me to believe that solely on the authority of his assertion. In the same way, I may have my own ideas which I am asking others to believe. And if I am asked a reason, I cannot give any. That is why religion and metaphysical philosophy have a bad name nowadays. Every educated man seems to say, oh, these religions are only bundles of theories, without any standard to judge them by. Each man preaching his own pet ideas. Nevertheless, there is a basis of universal belief in religion, governing all the different theories and all the varying ideas of different sects in different countries. Going into their basis, we find that they also are based on universal experiences. In the first place, if you analyze all the various religions of the world, you will find that these are divided into two classes: those with a book and those without a book. Those with a book are the strongest and have the largest number of followers. Those without books have mostly died out, and the few ones have very small following. Yet in all of them we find one consensus of opinion, that the truths they teach are the results of the experiences of particular persons. The Christian asks you to believe in his religion, to believe in Christ, and to believe in him as the incarnation of God, to believe in a God, in a soul, and in a better state of that soul. If I ask him for reason, he says he believes in them. But if you go to the fountainhead of Christianity, you will find that it is based upon experience. Christ said he saw God. The disciple said they felt God, and so forth. Similarly, in Buddhism, it was Buddha's experience. He experienced certain truths, saw them, came in contact with them and preached them to the world. So with the Hindus. In their books, the writers who are called rishis or sages declared they experienced certain truths, and these they preach. Thus, it is clear that all religions of the world have been built upon the one universal and adamantine foundation of all our knowledge, direct experience. The teachers all saw God. They all saw their own souls. They saw their future. They saw their eternity, and what they saw, they preached. Only there is this difference that by most of these religions, especially in modern times, a peculiar claim is made, namely, that these experiences are impossible at the present day. They were only possible with a few men who were the first founders of the religions that subsequently bore their names. At the present time, these experiences have become obsolete, and therefore we have now to take their religion on belief. This I entirely deny. If there has been one experience in this world in any particular branch of knowledge, it absolutely follows that the experience has been possibly many millions of times before and will be repeated eternally. Uniformity is the rigorous law of nature. What once happened can happen always. The teachers of the science of yoga therefore declare that religion is not only based upon the experience of ancient times, but that no man can be religious until he has the same perceptions himself. Yoga is a science which teaches us how to get these perceptions. It is not much use to talk about religion until one has felt it. Why is there so much disturbance, so much fighting and quarreling in the name of God? There have been many more bloodsheds in the name of God than for any other cause, because people never went to the fountainhead. They were content only to give a mental assent to the customs of their forefathers and wanted others to do the same. What right has a man to say he has a soul if he does not feel it, or that there is a God if he does not see him? If there is a God, we must see him. If there is a soul, we must perceive it. Otherwise, it is better not to believe. It is better to be an outspoken atheist than to be a hypocrite. The modern idea, on the one hand, with the learned, is that religion and metaphysics and all search after a supreme being are futile. On the other hand, with the semi-educated, the idea seems to be that these things really have no basis. Their only value consists in the fact that they furnish strong motive powers for doing good to the world. If men believe in God, they may become good and moral, and so make good citizens. We cannot blame them for holding such ideas, seeing that all teaching these men get is simply to believe in the eternal rigmarole of words without any substance behind them. They are asked to live upon words. Can they do it? If they could, I should have at least regard for human nature. Man wants truth, wants to experience truth for himself. When he has grasped it, realized it, felt it within his heart of hearts, then alone, declared the Vedas, would all doubts vanish, all darkness be scattered, and all crookedness be made straight. Ye children of immortality, even those who live in the highest sphere, the way is found. There is a way out of all this darkness, and that is by perceiving Him who is beyond all darkness. There is no other way.